Let me tell you, living here, you'll know that your ship has come in. With outdoor spaces like this, the entertaining possibilities are endless.
I'm Sara Gore and welcome to Open House NYC. As always, we've got some fabulous homes to show you this week, each of them unique in their own way, from LA to Palm Beach, Brooklyn to San Francisco, which is where we begin. We are with musician, artist, and producer Stephan Jenkins of Third Eye Blind. His townhouse in the Mission District is all about historic preservation and design personality, and was a true labor of love for this San Francisco native. Enjoy.
Hey, it's your friend Stephan. Welcome to San Francisco. This is my beloved Mission District, and this is my home where I have lived for a little over 10 years. I knew this was the block that I wanted to live on. I filmed my very first video for a song called Semi-Charmed Life down the street around the corner. And I've always loved the vibrancy of the Mission District. This whole place was built in the 1870s. It has been a labor of love bringing this Italianate Victorian back to where it was. Come up here, I'll show you some more. You step into the house and I immediately like this split hallway staircase. They call these bowling alley flats because it's one straight line down the center. I like this original wainscoting. And I had this done, it's graffiti, and that kind of reflects the mission where we're at. And also it's surfing, which is foundational to my life. So as soon as you walk in the door, you have a sense of who you're dealing with. What people want, what they crave, is to feel elevated and connected. That's what this front parlor is about. When my bass player, Leo, left the band, we remained best friends. And his mother, who is a celebrated painter in Berkeley, made me this. This is one of my very favorite paintings. That fits in really well with this chandelier. I never thought that I would want a Tiffany chandelier. I do want a Tiffany chandelier. It makes you feel great. These Italianites had these cantilevered windows. This is for catching light and sitting out here and reading in the morning, something I've done a lot and something that I will miss. Now, won't you join me on the divan? I always have a guitar here, and I sit on my big Chewbacca couch, and this is where I like to just if I keep guitars in different rooms, I practice more. I learned that from Blink-182, actually. These are the only things left now that I'm moving that would suggest that Third Eye Blind was in this house. It's lit. I love it. I just love this photo. This room, it's a little bit like a hug in the dark. Maybe this is my favorite room in the house. This is the dining room. And it had the wallpaper steamed off. It had this original 1870s plaster. The chandelier is sort of overly grand for this space, but God, have I had some overly grand dinner parties. I designed this table, it's oak. I wanted it to have life in it. I wanted to have a bit of that brutalist feeling of use. The rings, I welcome rings. It has this sense of depth and substance and time that I wouldn't want to cover up. This is a photo taken by Jacques Cousteau. Octopus is my favorite animal. Octopus is never on the menu in this dining room. Obviously, this room is a lot different than what you see from the rest of the house. Kitchens, I think, are kind of like machines. They can fit in with being updated. I don't really believe in wall hanger boards, but this one made it inside because it's blue, and I think it's cheerful. But for me, I wanted to have a kitchen that was sleek and thought out. This is bull top. I really like the aesthetic. I like the tolerances of the wood. If it looks right and feels right in space, then you've got the right thing. There was a space here that could be gained, and I just wanted to make as much light in here as possible, so we sort of punched in these, not too much portals, but a little bit of that sense. Being able to walk indoors and outdoors from a kitchen to me seems more important pretty much than anything else. I planted this boxwood around. The idea is that it's a room without a roof. In a city where there's not a lot of outdoor privacy, this one provides a lot, and that's kind of what's useful about it. This is the bedroom. I had these cabinets made. They're nice to look at, but it's very simple. This room's just for sleeping. In the morning, I look out at the view. Every time you look at it, you see something different, and it's always eligible to inspire you. And I think moving out of here, that's probably the one thing that I'll miss the most. Now that I'm moving out of this house, it's actually been a treat for me to go through it and remember all the things that I put into it. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you find some inspiration for your spaces.
Thanks for the tour, Stephen. Coming up just after the break, private island living in Palm Beach. We'll see you in just a few. Welcome back. To anyone who has ever dreamed of island living, this private island nestled off Palm Beach might just be a dream come true, rain or shine. I could rattle off some stats, the well over 21,000 square feet of room after room, or outside, maybe mention the tennis court, the docks, the epic, well, why don't I just leave it at epic and you can just see the rest for yourself. Take a look.
I'm Chris Levitt with Douglas Sullivan.
And I'm Todd Michael Glazer, the owner and builder of this wonderful island.
This property has just been completed.
And nobody's ever lived here.
So why don't we take you on a tour of 10 Tarpon Island. After you.
Thank you.
Todd, you really wanted this to be a contemporary take on classic Palm Beach architecture, right?
Exactly. The house is 28,000 square feet under air. This is not a small home.
With 11 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms, 7 powder rooms, it's its own compound.
It's its own island, yet you're in the heart of Palm Beach. So Chris, why don't you show them the house and I'll meet you back in the living room.
Gladly. So this is the formal living room. It's the first room that you see when you come into the home. You have these coffered ceilings. You have the beautiful hardwood floors with a metal detail running throughout. The room is very large. It gives you enough space to have 2 seating areas, one here by the bar, and then another one here by the fireplace. And this wall of windows opens up to create a seamless flow between indoor and outdoor living, which is the very essence of the Palm Beach lifestyle. When you have an estate like this, you have wings, and this is the kitchen wing. It includes this custom Italian main kitchen with the finest finishes you can imagine, including this hand-picked marble. It's not just a true chef's kitchen, it's a work of art. And there's a full catering kitchen too. Because let's face it, you can't host a party that this kind of house deserves without a catering kitchen. We are talking about more than a 2-acre island, 360-degree views of the water, and if that's not enough, we have a 120-foot swimming pool with a cold plunge and a jacuzzi. You also have a 180-foot dock, and that's one of 2 docks on this property. Let me tell you, living here, you'll know that your ship has come in. With outdoor spaces like this, the entertaining possibilities are endless. Lounge poolside, dockside, or under any of these loggias. I couldn't imagine a primary suite more fitting for a property of this magnitude. It features vaulted ceilings, a wall of windows with south-facing water views, and it all opens up onto this covered loggia. This primary suite, in fact this entire property, is truly what Palm Beach dreams are really made of.
How was it?
Well, you know, Todd, every time I come here, I'm just blown away.
Well, this was a lifetime project and a lifetime home. and I put my heart and soul into it.
Well, it shows, Todd, and I hope that you all got to see how truly special 10 Tarpon Island is.
Thank you for coming.
Coming up, a touch of France in Greenpoint at this reimagined railroad rental. We'll see you in just a few. Welcome back, everyone. Renters don't often renovate for obvious reasons, but content creator Bridget Muller had other plans. See how she transformed her railroad-style apartment in Greenpoint, Brooklyn into this charming French-inspired retreat.
Hi, I'm Bridget. Welcome to my 560 square foot apartment in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. In design, I'm really drawn to old world French. I love like romantic, feminine details. So I'm really excited to show you everything I've done here. As soon as you walk in, you're already in my kitchen, which is very common for railroad style apartments where one room leads directly into the next. So you really kind of have to be intentional about every little space in the apartment. For example, this built-in cabinet is literally the first thing you see when you walk in. It's an original built-in, and I love it because I love to collect pretty things, and this is a chance for me to put them on display. This is a 1920s building, so it has a ton of original charm, which I love. Like this shelf over my little standalone stove, and it opens up into one of my favorite spots in the whole apartment, which is my little breakfast nook. So this is my little French cafe. I love having places to plop with a custom-sized bench that fits perfectly in the alcove, and then a little marble bistro table, wooden chair, and then this vintage oil painting that somehow fits perfectly in the original molding to complete the vignette. People think it's wild that I would add a marble countertop in a rental, and trust me, I never thought it would get to this point, but over time I just had this vision in my head that I couldn't get out, and I just couldn't not do it. So here's this beautiful Carrara marble, unlacquered brass hardware, which you'll see all throughout my apartment because I just love the patina that it develops. I always felt like my kitchen needed a little island. I finally found this vintage workbench that works perfectly. I just need to eventually raise it up a little bit so it's counter height, but other than that, it's perfect. Typically in a railroad apartment, people will use this room as their bedroom, but to me, it kind of just felt like a living room. It already has this incredible fireplace mantle. I added this 5-foot mirror to complete the moment, and who doesn't love a vintage bench to just lounge on? And this was a blank wall when I first moved in, so I had these shelves built, and it's just another place to display all the beautiful things I love to collect. This here is one of my favorite vignettes in the whole apartment. It's another great place to plop. Here I put another mirror, and I love that when you look into it, it literally reflects the entire apartment. And Ollie loves to plop here too. This couch has seen better days. Ollie's had a lot of fun with it. I kind of customized it to make it my own. It initially had these big back cushions, and I just found myself craving more depth. So I removed them, put them in storage, and have just been playing around with my own pillows and lounge the way I want to lounge. And he likes to lounge too. Creating a home is such a journey, and I'm so grateful to this space for giving me the opportunity to explore and experiment and evolve my style. Thank you so much for coming on this little trip to the French countryside in Brooklyn, and I hope to see you back when I'm sure this space is gonna look entirely different.
Up next, vintage everything at this eclectic LA home. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're with LA-based stager and designer Francesca Grace. See how she celebrates her love of vintage glamour, continental sophistication, and eclectic charm in her very own Silver Lake home. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Francesca Grace. Welcome to my house. You may have seen it on the Christmas special in December, and it was completely decked out in Christmas decor. It was the week I moved in. And now that I've finally had a minute to adjust and redecorate, I'm ready to show you guys what I've done. Inside, you're gonna see Italian meets French, countryside, vintage everything. Can't wait to show you guys around, and let's get started. You'll notice that my entire room is monochromatic in this green, warm, earthy tone. I also really wanted to feel like I was almost in a forest, hence why we're surrounded by trees with the wallpaper. And then my sofa, I decided to reupholster it in a monochromatic fabric that matches the lampshades and just the green overall that's on the walls. So everything kind of feels really maximalist, but there's something really grounding about this space. And I feel like every time you walk in, it just feels really cozy and at home. I sourced my onyx dining table. I saw it and I was like, this is it. This is the show-stopping moment. And it's just this beautiful orange, like crazy textured color on top of it. So I used orange dining chairs. I used peach tones on the walls to kind of give it a little bit of a like feminine touch. I didn't want the orange to overpower the space. So I think that the pinks and the toile wallpaper kind of give it this new story and new life. So I definitely wanted to add that maximalist twist with history and vintage and just a story from the beginning to the end of the house. The kitchen is my favorite room in the house because the natural light that floods through this window is just so magical and feel like I'm living in the French countryside. I found this really old console. It has that floral pattern that I really like in the wood, and then I also wanted to bring in a little bit more French country with the chairs. I really like the lived-in parts of this table. It's definitely sun damaged. It's every type of damaged, and I just think it gives it that personality that I needed. I found this painting at a flea market, and I actually found this painting before I found the wallpaper, and it just was like a match made in heaven. I absolutely love the blue on blue. It gives you that monochromatic thing that I'm obsessed with, and it just adds this, again, sense of like vintage history. Having my coffee in here is definitely my favorite part of the morning. I love just sitting here and listening to the birds and going outside and being with the chickens. Welcome to the primary bedroom, aka my bedroom, where I think it takes a moody cottage approach. These custom drapes from Pepper Home, I added the fringe that I love. Also, the tones and the fringe continue onto these pillows, which my sister made. It's not a cottagecore room without a ton of flowers, which is why I picked the poppy wallpaper from Shack Home. And I just feel like the red tones in it really give it such a bright, warm, happy feeling, especially when the curtains are open and that light is flooding through. I want to take you guys to the really, really bright part of my house, which is my backyard, to meet my chickens. Thank you guys for coming on the tour, and I told you you'd meet them. This is Grandma, Pepe, and Petania. And this is my backyard, my happy place, and I'll see you guys really soon.
Just after the break, we are inside this one-of-a-kind townhome in Sutton Place. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We are rounding things off in Sutton Square with Yue-Sai, a television host and beauty executive so successful it has earned her the moniker the Oprah of China. Her townhouse is a testament to a lifetime of world travel and glamorous hosting. Now she invites us in.
Hello, I'm Yue-Sai. Welcome to my home. We're at Sutton Square, New York City. I designed this house with a mixture of East and West, but being Chinese, I would say that we do have a lot of very good antique Chinese pieces. This is the formal dining room. This table is a cherry wood table. I have it made just to fit this room. Look at these teapots. They are all from all over China, and some of them are from Taiwan. So it's a wonderful way to display my collection, and every one of them has a story. I got this fabric that is now made into a curtain, and I bought it in an antique store in Paris. Isn't that extraordinary? Here we are, my library, and it's full of little things that I really like this tapestry. I got it from India, and it's really made of semi-precious stones. You have aquamarine, tiger eye, you have jade, and you have rubies. It's extremely heavy. This Buddha is one of my favorites. It just gives this room such an extraordinary feeling of serenity. Now, if you ask me in this room, what do I like most of all? I love the ceiling. I commissioned a very talented artist, and I asked her to make me a dragon and a phoenix. And all I said is, do it in gold. And this gives such movement to the room I have never seen anywhere else. This is my bedroom. It has a huge panoramic view of New York. I happen to like red very much, and I like very much a mixture of red and blue. So this room is basically red and blue. This piece of sculpture is from a Thai house. I bought it when somebody demolished a house in Thailand. It's so beautiful. I just adored it. Thank you for coming to visit my home. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed putting it together. There's a lot of love in here, and I think this house has extraordinary feng shui. In Chinese, we say, that's really good luck. I hope whoever that gets it will have the same kind of good luck that I've had.
While I love exploring these homes, I love seeing what you thought of them even more. So drop a comment down below and let us know what you thought of this week's edition of Open House.